Hello everybody and happy Sunday. We love you, we miss you, and we hope that you and your families continue to be well. Welcome to a brand new lesson. Today we're talking all about how Jesus calmed a storm. We're going to have our music, story, scripture, activities, and a whole lot more, so let's get started. For today's song, we are learning I've Got Peace Like a River, and it's actually from another YouTube channel called Tiny Tree Tunes. So once you're done with this video, if you want to check that out, there's a really cool animated video that has this song. We're just going to learn the first part of it, but I think it's going to go great with today's lesson. So the whole song goes like this. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. So the words are repetitive, which means we sing the same words over and over again, and the notes only change a little bit. So the first half of the song goes, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Can you sing that whole line with me? I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Then the second half goes, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Let's try that second half again. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Awesome job. Now let's try putting that first half and that second half of the song together. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Great job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for singing with me. And now, on to our story. For today, we are reading Wind and Waves from the Beginner's Bible, page 363. It was late in the day. Jesus was teaching by the lake. Many people had come to see him, and Jesus was tired. Let's go to the other side of the lake, he said to his friends. See the water? That's Jesus. So they got into their boat. They started to sail across the lake. The boat rocked gently up and down. Have you ever been on a boat where it goes this way, then that way, then this way, then that way? But the wind began to blow stronger. The waves began to crash into the boat. It hopped high and then dipped low. Water sloshed into the boat. Everyone was afraid. Everyone but Jesus. Jesus was asleep on a pillow in the back of the boat. His friends woke him up. Jesus, don't you hear the wind blowing? Can't you feel the boat tossing? We are all going to drown. Why are you afraid? Jesus asked. Then he looked at the wind and the stormy sea. Peace, he said. Be still. The wind stopped blowing. The waves stopped crashing. Everything was quiet and still. Jesus' friends were amazed. Even the wind and the waves obey Jesus, they said. Now let's have a special review of our story with Miss Gail.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is safe and well. I miss you. And I'm still waiting for the day we can get together. It's been another cold, dreary, snowy week. But the good news is we're now in the middle of February and 1 week closer to spring. So let's continue with our word for February. Do we all remember what that word is? The word for February is guide. And remember, we said that guide was kind of to teach. You know, it's not to do something for someone, but to help them do it for themselves. Okay, and we talked last week about a couple of other words like guidance and guidelines that are all related to the word guide. So our first story was about Jesus teaching the disciples and teaching us how to pray. And he gives us guidelines for prayers. They're not hard and fast rules. He didn't say every time you pray, this is what you have to say. But he gave us guidance. He gave us ideas about the things that we should pray for. So, this week we have another story about Jesus. And again, Jesus is out with his friends and they are traveling the countryside and they are teaching people about God and about God's love. And they get to the end of the day and they're all rather tired, but they want to go, their next stop is going to be at the other side of a very large lake. Or, you know, it could be what they call a sea, which is basically a very, very, very large lake. So Jesus and his friends get into a boat and they're going to cross this sea. Now remember, a lot of Jesus' disciples were fishermen before they started working with him. So they weren't afraid to sail. They were very comfortable in the sailboat on the water. And so they head off from the shore and they head out into the deep water. And Jesus is very tired because he's been working all day. And so he curls up in the bottom of the boat and takes a little nap, goes to sleep. And while he's sleeping, a very, very big storm comes up. And the wind is blowing very, very hard. And the waves are crashing up onto the boat. Now, okay, you know what a big thunderstorm is like. You've seen and heard big thunderstorms before. And have you ever been afraid? Are you afraid of thunderstorms? Are you afraid of, those big, horrible storms that get windy and rainy and loud and noisy? Well, let me tell you, I am, or I was at least, afraid of thunderstorms. And primarily because when I was a little girl, I was about 4 years old, and my baby sister had just been born. She was just a very tiny baby. And my dad used to work. He used to start work in the afternoon and come home very, very late at night. So in the evenings, it would be me and my mom and my sister. And one evening in the summertime, a friend of my mom's came over and brought her little girl, who was kind of about my age. And we were sitting at the kitchen table, and my mom and her friend were talking and having a good time. And all of a sudden, this really big thunderstorm came up. Now, my mother was always kind of afraid of thunderstorms. And back then, we didn't have cable TV, and we didn't, or satellite TV, but we had this big metal rack thing that sat on the roof called an antenna. And that's where our television signal came from. Well, this storm was so bad and was so scary that the lightning actually hit the antenna on our next door neighbor's house right across our driveway. And the noise was deafening, and of course all the electricity went out. It got very, very dark, and we were scared. Okay, and so it took me a very long while to get over that. But thunderstorms are very scary things. Well, the disciples got very scared, And they started screaming and shouting, and they woke Jesus up and said, "Help us, help us." And Jesus got up and he looked around and he went, "Quiet." And all of a sudden the wind stopped and the rain stopped and the waves stopped. And Jesus' friends were amazed. "Who is this?" And then Jesus turned around and said, why were you afraid? Well, I think that, they had maybe good reason to be afraid, not knowing or not remembering how Jesus can take care of us and how Jesus can help. God can help to quiet and make right the things that go wrong in our lives. I don't think Jesus was trying to say it's silly or stupid or wrong to be afraid. I think that, that's human nature. We all get afraid. Things scare us sometimes. But I think the guidance that Jesus was trying to give us here was that not so much you're never going to be afraid, but that when you do get afraid, that you need to remember to have faith in God, to have faith in Jesus, and to trust that they will take care of everything. They will take care of us. They will take care of the situation that we're in, and that somehow they will always make it come out the way that they know is best for us. So, Jesus' guidance, or what the guiding that Jesus gave us in this lesson is, when things get tough, take a deep breath and remember that God is there to take care of us. Hope everybody has a great week. Probably a little more snow, but again, every week now is a week closer to spring. Take care and see y'all next week.
Thank you, Miss Gail. That was beautiful. And now let's hear some scriptures from Miss Jean.
Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. You all are very special Valentines. I hope you all are doing well. Our scripture reading for today about Jesus calming the storm comes from the New International Version Bible, the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. Listen now as we hear Jesus guiding his friends not to be afraid and to know that God is with them. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." We'll have a new story next week, so take care, everybody. Stay safe, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Jane. That was wonderful. And there is a coloring sheet sent to your email, so go ahead and print that out of all about today's lessons about how Jesus calmed the sea. So feel free to use your coloring pencils, your markers, your crayons, whatever you have at home to bring that picture to life, all about how Jesus was able to calm the storm and his friends did not have to be afraid. That wraps up our video for this week, guys. We will see you next week with a brand new lesson. We hope you continue to stay safe, stay well, and stay happy. And we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.